So at what point are you insane and just smashing your head against the wall? And at what point do you actually break through to what you're trying to achieve? When you're on the other side of the wall and you've made it through, you realize that everything that you went through was ultimately building you up and creating you and helping you to, once you get to that other side, stand and be the person that you need to be. I think of a lot of people that it seems like an overnight success. It's actually they've put in about 10 years or however many years, and you don't see all the things that that person has gone through that you might yourself be going through, and you're just wanting to get to what you have in your mind created as I've made it kind of thing. But when will you ever actually make it? Is there a point? Have you set that point? Have you set that benchmark? I think you need to put goals, big term goals, and then short term goals, because you got to achieve something along the way. You don't have to make it all the way through and then finally, I've done it, it's all over. Good night, folks. I think of Matt Rife about this because he was a person that had been putting it in his time. He's a hilarious comedian, but he went through his struggles, and I want to actually take a look at this. This is from him being on Jimmy Fallon. This was maybe years ago, a couple years ago, and him giving, like, he was about to give up in what he was going through, and then he just said, "Heck it, I'm just gonna post this video that I've edited, I've made it, but like, I'm not seeing any of the fruits of my labor." And he talks about he was invited, or his friend was invited to go to perform in this comedy tour, and he's like, "I'm not going without Matt. I'm without my friend." And they're like, "Well, I'll let him just describe it." It's really cool.
But they didn't want me. They wanted Paul and not me, and Paul, being a good friend, was like, I refuse to do the show without him, absolutely not. So they said, well, we're not gonna pay him, we're not gonna pay for his travel, but if he wants to perform, he can perform. So I was like, you know what, I'll swallow my pride, I wanna experience what this festival is about. We went, it was arguably the best show of the festival. But before that show, the same night, we were at dinner, and I was about to post this clip called The Lazy Hero, which I had already edited. It was at a show in Phoenix, Arizona for like 75 people. And I was just sitting there, I was so depleted and depressed at, being at a place I wasn't even invited to perform at. Wow. And I was like, this is so stupid. Why am I even bothering posting this stuff? It's not gonna do anything. And my friend was like, you already edited it. Just post it and then we'll have a fun time tonight. And then that video over the next couple of days went insanely viral, like 20 to 30 million views. And then that made every other video on my profile go viral, and then everything just kind of exploded out of nowhere.
30 million views.
Yeah, dude, insane.
That is a good reminder to anyone, to whatever you're doing. If you are in the kind of space of content creation, you're making stuff and you're trying to put it out there for entertainment, for bringing value to somebody, you never know what is going to pop off. You never know what is going to, go viral. You never know what is actually going to just like hit the airwaves and just resonate with people, because your life it's an amazing thing that is happening, but a lot of times it's just happening behind closed doors and in your own world. And until you actually start expressing it and showing it to the other people out there, you don't know the impact that you could be having on other people's lives. Not everybody is wanting that. Not everybody's wanting to make stuff like that. But I would say that a lot of people, I think of it being made in the image of God. That God wants to create things. He could have just been God forever and just been himself forever and not expressed it. But he wanted to bring value to his creation. And it's like a painter. A painter just writes something and makes something amazing, or artist. Unless someone is viewing it, unless someone is seeing it, you don't really get that full fulfillment of what it could be doing. So just like in your own life, you have so many things that you could be showing to other people and could be bringing value to them. And I think that is what we all have in us. We have that like innate feeling and just drive that we want to be making something. We want to be creating something that is valuable. and it is going to last, you know, not just for today or tomorrow, but it's going to last for a long time, you know, and even extend past our lives and how long that we're going to be here. You know, it's going to be over in an instant. We want to have something that's going to carry on, you know, leave a legacy for our children and for anybody that comes after us, you know. So Matt Rife, he had been putting in his time years, and like just not seeing the success of it. One video just goes crazy, and it's never the one you expect. It's never the one that you've put in your blood, sweat, and tears into, and you've poured everything into it. That people don't care about that a lot of times. It doesn't end up resonating sometimes. It's the things that you least suspect, and like. I think that is it's an awesome reminder for me as well as anyone else, like whatever you are just putting your time into and your energy towards, you know, I would say just keep grinding. It might feel like you're in an insane asylum, just smashing your head against a wall. But you don't know, maybe that God is keeping you in that insane asylum for a while to build up your character, to make you so that you don't just go off the rails when you do see some success. You need to be humbled a lot of times, or I need to be humbled a lot of times because if I just start getting everything that I would want, I would probably not execute and do it like be a good person once I have that. If everything's handed into your lap and just thrown at you, and you just have whatever you want in an instant, you're not going to appreciate it. It's corny to say, but it's the journey. You gotta go through the bumps, the bruises, and everything, so that when you do see some light, you'll learn to just, hey, I had to fight for this. I had to claw for this. And the thing that's going to go off and just reach people and just touch people and actually bring the value, because that is what it is about. It's like, what am I going to do that is going to bring value to someone else? Brighten their day, help them in some part of their life, you know, give them something to think about. Because a lot of times it's about just things become easy when you understand what to do. Like this is going to probably sound stupid to a lot of people. It's actually really stupid the more that I think about it, and the more that it starts coming out of my mouth, I know how stupid it's going to sound. Sometimes I go work out in the morning, and I have a whatever you put, you know, protein powder in those things you shake up. They have kind of a spiral thing inside of it that just makes the contents of it just dissolve and all that. You know, those shakers. For months, I had been trying to just open it, and just I don't know. Sometimes I could open it easy, sometimes I couldn't. And it wasn't until that I had this little thing that I pushed, and then it opened. And you might think you are the stupidest man alive. Yeah, I don't care. But it was a life lesson to me that you can just be smashing your head against something until you get a little bit of wisdom that just unlocks everything. Something that might seem insanely hard to you, but you get that little bit of wisdom, or something happens by luck or whatever, and then everything clicks. That key that unlocks everything. So I would say keep your eyes open for that. Pray for wisdom, because I think that is the biggest thing that we need and everyone needs, because that unlocks everything. And then I also wanted to end on this. Have you ever? I come home from working out, and my wife, she asked me, "How was your workout?" Anything that a lot of times when I get asked about stuff, I don't know how to answer that. I don't know what to say to that. If it's like the same thing, like if somebody asks you, "How's your day going?" or "How was your lunch?" How was your, for me, I don't know what to say to those things. And I know to the normal person, because most of you are out there, you're normal. But for me, if someone asks me something, if it was bad, I don't want to talk about it. If it was good, I don't really care. I just don't know how to answer those types of things. Have you ever been asked that? How was your workout? What would you say? That might sound, I'm just going to show you who I am, because I don't know what to say to those things. I don't know conventionalities. It's hard for me to be conventional and say just the normal things. I don't know how to respond in those. I think that is just maybe societal and being socially acceptable and able to blend in and able to like have that conversational nature with anybody. Maybe you got that, and I hope you do. But like, have you been asked that, and what would you say to that? If you've had a good workout or not? I've never been able to do that. I've never been able to do that. That's why I think I've never been able to just talk normally with my wife or with anybody really, because it's like, it's a struggle to actually just say things that are regular. I don't know how it's, if something is conventional, I am like, I am almost repulsed by it, gagged by it. I don't know. It's like, it goes against me. Like I have to be original. Can't just say what is in that regular conversational tone, what you say in that. It's hard for me to say that. I'm having a great day. What does that even mean? What is having a great day? I had a good workout. What does that even mean? I tend to overthink and overanalyze. All right. So if you've enjoyed this video, I hope you did. Smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit this link over here, and I'll see you on the other side. Peace.
I could see the cracks form in the paint, growing like a fire. What do I say? Can you see them?